every day I would play New World on my fucking stream, people would be like, oh, what? No. It's like they were giving me resources in New World, and they were like, please, if you get 200, will you please quit? If we give you all of our gold, will you quit the game? Can we pay you to stop streaming this? Here's 75,000 gold. Just never log on again. You know what I should do whenever I play New World? I should have a ransom. I'm holding the stream hostage in New World until I receive 20,000 gold. Every day, 20,000 gold. And the stream is held hostage, and there will be no reacts until I receive my share of 20,000 gold. It's Kira video.
I don't know what exactly I'm going to call this video or where I'm going to go with it, but I did just want to talk about New World for a little while. Just vomit some opinions out, just talk about some facts, some figures, and just a retrospective as what I thought was going to happen with New World and where we currently are. And bear in mind, this is coming from somebody who's not played the game in, I think, over a month and a half at this point.
Okay.
I stopped logging on. I just couldn't be bothered anymore. Seeing where the game was going, seeing the issues with the game, it defied my expectations. And I'm someone who, if you followed my channel since 2019, I've been making videos very critical of New World, talking about how the game wasn't ready for release back then. And I still share that same opinion. The game was never ready for launch, and we've seen now that this is...
I think that New World should have released with the Gypsum patch. To be honest with you, I think it should have released with the Gypsum patch. If New World had released with the Gypsum patch, I feel like at least a third to half of the negativity, because you've got to remember also with the Gypsum patch, they changed a bunch of other stuff too, like increasing Imperial Palace levels, giving you more places to farm in-game gear for, and they also added in a bunch of new quests. So they would have made a big, they would have done a big service to themselves to probably release it on that patch instead. And it's like at a certain point, I think a lot of people just wanted the game to come out, including myself. But, man, like, I really... It's like, if the Gypsum patch cope, it's a dead game, it's shit, well, what the fuck? I like New World. Am I a bad person for liking New World? I really like the aesthetic of the game. I like the setting of the game. I enjoy just doing the professions and the gathering stuff in the game. I really do. I put over 1,000 hours into it. I like a game that a lot of people think is bad. Hey, I've been doing that for 15 years. It's not going to upset me if you guys disagree. Yeah, I enjoy the game. I want to see the game succeed. And I hope that it does. I mean, as I said, I think that the mutators and stuff, I haven't done it. I probably should do a New World stream soon here, like maybe in a couple of days. I'll do a New World stream and go through some of the new content and just see what it's really like myself. I think that's important. I should see my own personal impressions of it. So yeah, I enjoy the game a lot. I played it a lot. And there you go.
This was a fact, right? We've seen that this was a big mistake. And I'm going to look at some numbers with you here.
Okay.
This is something that somebody on Reddit put together. It's called MMO Launch Q1, and it's basically the percentage of peak concurrent users on the Steam platform during
this is really good. Wow. What a great graph. Holy shit. Let me see this. Wow, Albion Online really is doing well. Phantasy Star Online is doing very well. Arcade Unchained is doing better than I would have expected. Bless Unleashed, not good. The only game that New World is ahead of is a game that I've never been heard of. Wow. Percentage of peak concurrent users on the Steam platform during the first quarter. Huh. Yeah, it's percentage based, remember? So even if it's a small slice of apple pie, what slice is the pie? You know, like yeah, I mean, all the graphs basically start about the same. They're all up at the top, then they go down. Okay, here we go.
First quarter.
I really like
so the
this
first
graph.
90 days of their launch. Now, this has got on there Albion Online on their free-to-play, Solo, Swords of Legends Online, worst MMO name ever, worst game name ever,
yeah,
Arcade Unchained, Phantasy Star Online 2, Bless Unleashed, and New World. So it's not exactly like they're in, great company here. New World is quite easily there, the largest game by a country.
Oh, they're elf
mile.
farming.
And
definitely.
I could clickbait this. These results will shock you. You really will be shocked by just how bad New World has actually done. So as you can see from the graph here, PSO2, Arcade Unchained, and Albion Online did the best. Yeah. And they were like 40%, 40%.
I'm really surprised to see some of these games retain such a large player base. Like, the thing with what's so crazy to me is Phantasy Star Online. That's nuts. Like, I never would have thought of that. And Albion Online. It had game-breaking bugs for too long. It really did, didn't it? Why would you name a massively multiplayer online game Solo? I don't know.
That's obviously, what you'd expect for about the norm after 90 days. Typically, MMOs release, they have their peak, and then they just gradually go down, and hopefully somewhere along the way, they eventually get into their stride and they start going back up, or they just completely fail.
Yeah.
Now, if I was to tell you that Bless Unleashed, had better player retention over 90 days than New World, you wouldn't believe me if you didn't.
Yeah, that's true. But anybody getting into Bless Unleashed, I feel like nobody that played Bless Unleashed had high expectations. It's like if you are playing this game, you are on like the 9th circle of hell of desperation, and you will take anything that you can get. So it's like the fact that the servers were up is probably enough to make them happy. I think it's funny, right? But it's still like New World. I think that the reason why New World like this, it's really bad. And this is showing a percentage growth, not necessarily numerical growth. But New World had like such an aggressive marketing campaign whenever it first came out that this type of a drop, I think to some degree, was it was to be expected. Really, it was to be expected because it was marketed so strongly. And now I don't really care about like I'm not trying to make any excuses for it because really I said before, and I was wrong about this. I've said many times. Please remember whenever I say, oh, Esmond never thinks he's wrong. I was very wrong about this. I thought that the New World Mutators patch would bring the Steam concurrent player base up to 140K at least. That's what I thought. I thought Shroud would be playing it. I thought I'd be playing it. I thought they'd have drops. Everybody'd be playing New World that day. It turns out that didn't happen. Yeah, that one didn't happen.
I have the stats right in front of your eyes. You just wouldn't believe me because I wouldn't believe you if you told me that as somebody who's played Bless Unleashed and also knows that the majority of the Bless Unleashed player base was actually Chinese and not Western. And the reason I mention that is not because Chinese numbers don't count, although in certain cases they don't. But Steam player numbers definitely count because they're not being fudged in any kind of way. The reason I mention that is because during the release of Bless Unleashed, that was when the law came out and changed in China that stopped people being able to play video games over a certain amount of hours per day, which obviously would have impacted the player numbers of Bless Unleashed since the majority of that percentage of player base was in China. So the fact that with that information, with that massive detriment to their player base, they still had more player retention than New World, a game that cost hundreds of millions of dollars and had like a 5+ year development cycle from one of the richest companies in the world, is fucking crazy. And then when you compare that New World only just beat out Swords of Legends Online, a game that came from China that is run by Gameforge and doesn't run very well. It's just like a port that nobody really cared about all too much. It's just real bad times, guys. It's just really bad times. And then obviously this comes with a headline as well where people are saying the ability to see New World population has been disabled in the new patch. Thread discussing this has been deleted on the New World forums.
To be fair, look, it got way more concurrent players today than it did yesterday. I mean, you know, it's at least one day was better than the previous day. I mean, hey guys, it's on its way back up. It's on its way back up. We're back, baby. Let's go. There it is. Yeah. So what he's really saying is he's talking about seeing the population on the server. Let's find out right now. I want to see if this is true myself. I'm going to log on real quick. And I'm going to log on just to see what the servers are like. So, because whenever I hear this, I want to see it. I want to see it. One extra player today. Yeah, bro, like, this is going to be a record. Imagine if it crashes. Yeah, that'd be great, right? No, this isn't the amount of people on the servers, guys. This is not the amount of people on the servers. There's a website that used to aggregate it, and it doesn't now. I see. So it doesn't even show it in game. The reason why... Listen. The reason why it says low for all the servers is they are readjusting the amount of people that are able to log on to each server in preparation for the server merges. So because of that higher number, it's going to show that the servers that would normally have high population actually have low population. So the reason why it's showing low is actually because they care about the game, right? Fuck, man. They better make this game good. I didn't farm this void bent armor for no fucking reason, okay? Like, I didn't farm this shit for this game to die, Amazon. You better not let this fucking game die after I leveled up everything to 200. I didn't chop fucking wood and kill level 30 NPCs to get my wood leveling up to 200 just for you to let my fucking game die. You better not do it. God damn it. Alright, well, at least it doesn't show it in game. I'll say that for sure. Is the game even fun? Yeah, I had fun playing the game. Yeah, I did. It was a stupid kind of fun, but I did have fun playing the game. Yeah. What can I say?
Obviously, there are a couple ways to talk about and look at this.
Yeah.
And it really depends on whether or not you want to be, I guess, lenient towards the company or not.
Shit.
You can definitely just throw them to the wolves here and just say they're censoring people. This change is actually bad for the players that still remain. And you're absolutely right. You're 100% right. That is the case. They shouldn't be doing this. They shouldn't be censoring people talking about them doing this. But as a company, what do you expect them to do?
Well, they should just say the reason why we're doing it is because we're doing server merges and we don't want people to make decisions based off of that right now. And after the server merges are over, we'll probably show the numbers again. If they said that, then everybody would shut the fuck up because they would know that there's a point in time in the future that there's going to be an improvement to the situation. And then whenever that point in time happens, they're going to forget about the numbers entirely and you never add them back. You're welcome, Amazon. I look forward to reading the post tomorrow on the subreddit. It's an easy solution.
It's basically saying
PR Amazon. Let's be honest, guys. I've probably done more PR for this game than Amazon has. Okay, let's just be honest.
At this point, if you leave in a feature that allows for people to see your game just consistently dying and see that all the servers are having population problems and then allow people to talk about this, obviously that's just going to continue to perpetuate that narrative that the game is dying. And the reason that this is a little bit of a weird one for me is that you can still log on SteamDB, you can still log on Steam charts, anything that has API access to Steam's own data metrics. You can see that New World's population is going down every single day. There's not been an uptrend at all, and I don't think there is going to be for a long while, if ever. They're definitely going to have to do something drastic to pull this game out of the box that it's currently in.
They might have to make the game good. Oh my god, they might have to do that. I don't know if they're ready. I don't know if they're gonna they'll never do that. No, that's too far. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I think that New World, it's a game that got like a lot of really bad publicity on release. And on top of that, it's one of those things where people already made up their mind about it. So it's like, okay, well, everybody has already decided that New World is bad, so what's there to talk about? I think also, I mean, like, I'll have to play the new patch and see what it's like. But the thing is, for end game at least, I don't really know how much mutators play a role. I think you'll see people come back to New World if they release new zones or something like that, for sure. But other than that, I can't really see it happening. I think if anything, like, they should probably, like, the next time that New World will have, this is the thing, this is my opinion, tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think that the next time that New World will have a chance to really grow again is if they do an expansion. They have to do an expansion on the game, sell the expansion, promote the expansion, and the most important thing about the expansion thing is that it has to be good. That's the problem with this scenario, is that it has to be good. And it has to be free? No, it doesn't have to be free. It could be $20. Like, it'd be $20. People will buy it if it's promoted, and, like, maybe you get it for free if you've got Amazon Prime or something. Like, I don't fucking know. People buy it for $20. Why would anyone pay for it at this point, though? Because it's $20. Like, most people have $20. That's the truth. Most people have got $20 that they buy it if they feel like it's a good use of the time, looks like a good game, right? That's it. Add mounts, yeah. Like, let's say they add mounts and a bunch of other shit to New World, yeah, people would come back. Now, the problem is, like, if it's bad, they're just going to leave again.
So they've basically removed here a feature that had tangible benefit to the current player base.
Yes,
because
they did.
Let's say you still play New World, which, if you do, my condolences, and you want to play on a server that is populated.
It's hard.
You previously could log on this website called newworlddatabase.info server status, and you could see what servers had the most player population and transfer to that server. And then you could obviously go to a server that is more populated instead of one that's dead, that you're currently probably on. So the fact that the New World devs removed this is removing an actual feature that helps their current player base still, which is obviously a problem. It's obviously a bad thing to do. But again, I can't really blame them all too much because they're trying at this point to just fucking stem the bleeding. And unfortunately, it's not really working out too well because every time something like
the gypsum patch, actually, if you look at the graphs, the gypsum patch actually did stop the numbers going down for a while. It's like there was a decline, and then it was like this for a while, and then it went back into a relative decline. Like, I mean, it's just what the graph says, okay? That's all I'm saying. It's not copium, it's the graph. But, it sent it into a nice little plateau for a couple of weeks. That's about it. The gypsum patch did nothing for old players. Well, it also did nothing for new players, too. The thing is that the questing experience for New World is a cock ass. That's what it is. And the reason why it's a cock ass is because New World is fixated on this idea of limiting travel. They are fixated on the idea of running from point A to point B. And do you know what happens? Is people do run from point A to point B. Point A is New World. Point B is something else. That's because you run over there, and then you got to run back. And then you run over there, and then you got to run back again. How many times are we going to do this whole thing? BDO, yes, you have to run, but it has auto pathing, for fuck's sake. Well, also, like, you used to be able to unstuck, and it would teleport you back to town. And you could do that as much as you wanted, because we used to exploit the fuck out of that. I don't know if you can still do that. And also, BDO has mounts. Not anymore. They fucked me. Yeah, there you go. It's got mounts, too, with drifting. I know.
This happens. It's just more fuel for the fire. And we all know New World needs no more fuel on that absolute raging inferno because the game's just been absolutely fucked into the ground by their own... It's their own fault, you know? People can blame content creators. They can blame people that make,
It's Josh's fault. I can't believe Josh straight face. He made that video, said New World was bad. Now everybody's quitting. Why would he ruin the game? Why would you do that? Oh my God, Joshua, no. Nah, the thing is, like, yeah, obviously, like, it's not content creators. The thing, like, I want to be positive to New World, and like one of the reasons why I want to be positive to New World, this is something that a lot of people don't really think about, but it's the fact that the developers are actually trying to take a conscious effort to engage with the community and improve the game based off of player feedback. And I can really appreciate that and respect that. I can. Like, despite what you think about the game, that's fucking great. Yeah, that's actually a good thing.
Negative videos about New World. But at the end of the day, for somebody to make a negative video about New World, the reasons to make the video still have to exist, which we have no control over. Like, something being bad and something bad happening, and then somebody and then blaming the person pointing at the bad thing and saying, that's bad, guys. You know, you're misassigning the blame there a little bit. It's 100% on the game studio. I'm not going to say the developers, because I don't know that that's the case from what I heard.
Oh, who gives a fuck whose fault it is in the company? It's the people running the show that are fucking around. I don't care which person's fault it is. I don't care if it's Jeff's fault or Scott's fault. I don't give a fuck. It's messed up. When people say the developers, people messing up the game, who gives a shit what you call them? The producers, the directors, the game developers, the people running the show. It's all the same to me.
And if you go and check my video, which I will leave in the video description, my explanation on why New World sucks, they were just forced by higher ups to use technology that just wasn't fit for purpose for the game, and now they're just stuck with this legacy system that it just doesn't work, and they've had so many problems. They've been chasing their tail for so long.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Like, New World really shows, like, New World is a great game to go fishing in. New World is a great game to kill an NPC that's 20 levels lower than you and 3 hits in. But whenever you really get into anytime that New World actually is hard, it shows its friction very fast. It shows the inadequacies of the interactions on a fundamental level. It's basically like, the harder that you play the game, the worse the game is. Needs better difficulty design? Yeah.
Trying to fix these problems, and they just launched the game way too early. They've been doing some really cool stuff, like the developer roundtables they do, where they sit and talk to their community in an unfiltered fashion for like 30 minutes up to like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I really like those. I think they're really good, and it shows a step in the right direction of communication.
True.
But if you're doing that and then at the same time removing features that show that your game's dying, even though people can see it with their own eyes anyway through Steam API, and then censoring people talking about it, you're basically giving with one hand and then taking with the other.
I have to say, though, like, my solution to that problem, to that PR problem, it's pretty fucking good, right? You just tell people that it's being disabled temporarily while you're combining servers and switching servers, and then you just never enable it again. That's really good. That would totally work too. Even if they do it now after I said it, people will still be okay with it. Yeah.
And I don't know, bro. There's a no-win scenario here. And again, is this the death of New World? Maybe.
Nah, not yet.
Is it just going to continue going down, 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 and public sentiment just going to ignore coming back to try the game? They still keep making updates that just don't make a lot of sense to me, and that, in my opinion, don't make the game fundamentally better to the point where I'd want to go.
I think a lot of the problem with the game has to do with Azoth. If you took Azoth out of the game for everything except crafting, the game would be better. You took it and you removed it. No increasing the cap. I don't want to farm it at all, ever. I never want to farm it. It's annoying. It's just get rid of it. Azoth promotes decision making, though? Yeah. The decision making that promotes is if you want to play the game or not. And most people say no. Yeah, you're right. Just like Covenants. Yeah, just like Covenants. It's another one of the stupid, like, oh, theoretically, this is what it should do. It should do this. This is what the goal is. Oh, that's really nice that you have that goal. But guess what? Nobody gives a fuck about your goal. They don't care about it because it doesn't matter to them. They want to play the game. They don't care about your ideas. They don't give a fuck about your philosophy of what you think the game should be like. This is all irrelevant to them. They want to have fun. And if you're stopping them from having fun, you're the bad guy. And guess what? The customer is always right.
Back and play it, but maybe they'll catch some other people. And realistically, we've seen some MMOs pull out of the nosedive, right? Albion Online, it launched, it didn't do very well. They swapped to a free-to-play model from a buy-to-play model, and the game is now one of the most populated MMOs out there, despite people ignoring it quite a lot. RuneScape obviously swapped to systems that people didn't like, and then old school RuneScape came in, and look at how old school RuneScape is now. You've got Final Fantasy XIV, literally one of the worst MMO launches ever, and absolutely just pulled out that nosedive with a brand new game, something that I don't think will be afforded to New World. I think if that was the case, they'll probably just cut their losses on this one. Elder Scrolls Online, obviously having some problems at the moment due to the game just not working very well and lag problems, etc. But if you looked at the player population of that game when it launched and the player population now, it's inarguably in a much, much better state. And then on the flip side, you have other games that were Titans that are currently on their descent into madness with World of Warcraft. So it's not like it's impossible to pull out, and they have the talent. They're still hiring people, by the way. I've on good authority that they're still paying top dollar to bring in top talent into the studio. So I don't think this is the end for New World, but I don't know, bro. It does look really bad. So as someone who talked about New World for a long time and kept telling people it's not ready for launch, it's going to do badly, it's going to have like a big peak of players because it's a new MMO by a big Western company and it's very nice to look at and the big marketing reach, I knew New World was going to do well in the short term. But you can go back and check from 2019 when I was making videos about New World, 2020.
Bro, dude, I remember whenever I fucking was playing the beta and I was level 60 in like 3 days, and everybody, like, I was talking, I was like, this is dog shit. That is dog shit. This is bad. This part of New World is gonna suck. They need to fix this before launch. I was saying all of this stuff, and I was getting so much hate, bro. Like, I was getting people mauling at me. I'm getting New World, graybeard, balding, 35-year-old craft beer drinking dads telling me, shut the fuck up. This game is going to be it. This game is going to be lit. And I remember, do you remember that? Do you remember that? But were you wrong? That's the best part. I wasn't wrong. It turns out I was right about every problem. And the reason why they didn't see it is they suck dick at the game, so they never got as far as I did to see the problems I was seeing. And they wouldn't take my word for it because they were fucking delusional. It's too bad.
All the way through to 2021. I said it repeatedly over and over again. This game in the medium term is going to absolutely fucking nosedive because the game's just not anywhere near being ready. It's like another 2 years of development away from being a competent product if they can fix the problems that they have with the actual underlying tech concerns, which are literally baked into the engine. Which, you know, that is a very big question mark. And honestly, looking at social media, there's a lot of people that really hate New World. And I do mean hate.
Bro, like, I tell you, man, like, this guy's on my fucking subreddit. Man, I remember every day I would play New World on my fucking stream. People would be like, oh, what? No. It's like they were giving me resources in New World, and they were like, please, if you get 200, will you please quit? If we give you all of our gold, will you quit the game? Can we pay you to stop streaming this? Here's 75,000 gold. Just never log on again. Problem solved. Like, that's what it was. I really mean it. We'll do it again. You know what I should do whenever I play New World? I should have a bounty. Or, no, a ransom. I'm holding the stream hostage in New World until I receive 20,000 gold every day. 20,000 gold, and the stream is held hostage, and there will be no reacts until I receive my share of 20,000 gold. That's a good idea.
Dislike, they want to see it fail, and they want to see Amazon Game Studios fail. I understand to an extent, and the reason...
I think fuck those losers, man. Like, I want to see the game succeed. I love the fucking game, okay? I love New World. I said it before. I do. I love New World. I think it's a great game. I really, really, really want to see it succeed, man. I really, really, really do. Man, I really want to see it succeed. But, like, I really, like, need to make the end game just, like, better. They need to make combat better. They need to make the leveling professions better. They need to make, like, crafting probably a little bit better, less RNG. They need to make, like, leveling your character better. They need to make the questing better. They need to make the travel better. They need to make the mob attacks better. They need to make the end game bosses a little bit better. I make the dungeon, you know, like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, here is my New World fan 1,000 plus hours into the game, almost every profession maxed at 200. Some of them I unfortunately had to farm myself. Yeah, you guys helped me with a lot of them, but not every single one. And here is my dream. Here's my best case scenario with New World right now. Is that New World goes into a lull, not only by chat, but the LULL, and they hold off, they develop new content, and then an expansion is released, and in the expansion there will be a lot of really great new features. No, not LOL. That's what we don't want to have happen. That's the last thing that we want to... That's the opposite. That's the nightmare scenario. At the dream. New World Reborn is they bring out an expansion with some new zones, a revamped in-game, and some engine fixes to make the gameplay better. No Azoth, no travel restrictions. Just play the fucking game, bruh. And that's it. They have to fix the existing features. And you know how they fix the feature of Azoth? Here. Let me show you how to fix it. We're going to pretend this is the feature. The feature is, let me move it over here. So you see the feature? Okay, this is the feature. Here's what they need to do. So that's how they need to fix the feature. It's fixed. Conduit energy is a great example. Blizzard. Oh, we can't let you change conduits. What if people do it every 5 minutes? If we let you change your conduits, everybody's gonna just be fucking addicted to changing their conduits. That's all they're gonna be doing in the game is changing the conduits. I can't. They have to keep going. They gotta do it. They can't stop changing. Oh my god. You know how many times I've changed my conduits? Like 5 times. And so they had the problem with the conduits. Then they had conduit energy. And it was like, how can we can't have an RPG if we can't have conduit energy? Is it really an RPG anymore? This is Ian. Is it really an RPG? We can't do a conduit. If you gotta change your conduit 3 times a day, it's not an RPG, guys. Listen. Once it's an RPG, twice it's not. It's that simple. Unless you didn't change it yesterday, then you can change it twice, it's still an RPG. But 3 times, hey, no, whoa, say, settle down. That's not an RPG anymore. Well, they took it out of the game, and the game was better. That's how they fixed it. Boom. Settled, solved, fixed, completed, yeeted, deleted, done. It's crazy how these things happen. Skated, on, aborted. That doesn't sound right, but it's the same idea.
And that they have this opinion is because Amazon bad.
Repeated. No, that's not till next expansion.
Yeah, there is definitely a point to be made there. I personally don't believe that a big Western company spending hundreds of millions of dollars to build out an MMO and having it subsequently fail in a very drastic fashion is good for the genre. I don't think it's good for the industry.
No, it's bad.
And I think that would dissuade...
Because it sends a message to everybody else that MMOs are... it's like, whoa, look at Amazon. They did their best, and then it didn't work. What the hell chance do you think we have? So, yeah, you're right. 100%. 100%.
Other companies from potentially doing the same thing. And while I do think you can make a point that bigger companies coming in won't have your best interests at heart because, of course, they're profit driven.
Well, like the smaller ones do. Like, yeah, every company with less than 100 employees, they don't have to use money. It turns out that people get paid in hopium, and so they pay all of their bills. If you work at a small company like this, you're actually being paid in hopium. And you actually use that. It might sound crazy, but you use that to pay your bills. Yeah. They all want money, man. Like, I get what he's saying, and he's kind of right. But you get what I'm saying, and I think I'm kind of right, too.
They are businesses for that reason. That doesn't mean they won't necessarily make strides in the genre, or at least make games that some people will enjoy and enrich the pool from which we can pick to play. So I don't think hoping for the failure of New World is good. I don't think it's going to do anyone any favors. And while it may give you a little bit of schadenfreude, it's just not really where we should be at, in my opinion. Hopefully New World can pull it out. It seems like they are putting in the work to try. But looking at the stats when you actually see them on screen, it's very illuminating. New World has been, in my opinion, an abject failure. And you can definitely say, 70,000 people concurrence per day is not a failure. The game's not dead. But when you compare that to where it was...
It's not about where the game is. It's about where the game was and where the game's going. If you go like this... Here. Let's do another graph. And we're going to do some different points here, okay? Where do you think the next point's going to be? Oh, wow! We're going to the moon! Oh my god. This is why people are worried. They're worried about the trajectory of the game. They're not necessarily... People are saying this like fucking... If the game had, let's say, 200,000 active players right now, and it started with 400,000, everybody would be saying it's a success. I think so. People would be saying like, it retained over half its player base. That's pretty fucking good. So it's like, yeah, it'd be decent. Yeah, for sure. Even though it started lower and it's only about like twice as much. But like it's the direction that it's going in. It was on console, I might try it. New World should have released on console, 100%. You're totally right.
The expectations were, how much money they've spent, how much marketing they have. That is a failure, in my opinion. And it probably financially will be as well, at least in the medium term. So good luck to them, but that's New World for now. Thank you very much. See you next time. Stay safe. We're out. Peace.
So, that's where we're at. That's where we are, that's where things are going. And, it's sad. It really is. It's fucking sad, man. It really fucking is. It's disappointing. Yeah, it's definitely a vibe. New World is the most cost-effective game of all time. With stories of invincibility bugs, the band battles, the gold exploit, and the economy crashes, it's going to be hours of entertainment, absolutely no charge at all. That's true, actually, and this is what I said before about New World, is that the game, in order to fully enjoy New World, you have to look at the dupes and the bugs as part of the content. Like, think of it like a new content patch. It's like, new dupe is out. Fuck yeah, new content, boys. Let's go. Yeah, that's what it's fucking about, man. It's not sad. Yeah, I mean, shit games should... shit game is shit. Shit games should fail. I feel like, again, they are tied down to this idea that you have to... Of like player permanence in the world. I think that's effectively what the problem is. A player permanence. Like, for example, like, let's say I want to do the Siren Queen. or I want to do the Monosequious Cleft, whatever it's called, the fucking Spriggan, the green one. Let's say I want to go over there and I want to do that. I'm going to spend more time traveling to the dungeon than I will spend doing the dungeon. That's bad. You know what I want to do? I want to be in town, and I want to click a button that teleports me to the Siren Queen's arena. And then I want to click a button that starts the arena and teleports all players into the arena from wherever they are on the map. That's what I want. And I will not compromise with this. I will not say, oh no, you're only going to waste 10 minutes of my time, not 15. Hey! No, I will not compromise with this. I don't want my time wasted. I don't want to have to run all the way up there. It's annoying. Let's make the game casual. In that way, yes. I would rather be a casual runner than a hardcore runner. Yes. Absolutely. But then the game's going to be too short. Make more game. But I want my artificial ways to consume my time. True. They reduced travel costs and added travel points to there? No, they didn't. Because they didn't reduce them down to 0. And they don't allow you to teleport everybody into it as soon as the first person is there with the key. That's what I want. I don't want the I don't want the travel costs reduced. I want them by 5%. I want them reduced by 100%. I want them to be 0. Literally 0. Like there's no I have no like, oh well then maybe just this much would be okay. No. 0. Fucking 0. Get rid of it. Yeah, I mean, why'd every dungeon got to use an orb key? Because if they didn't, realistically, nobody would do any of the outdoor content. Which I don't really think is entirely true. But, you know, that's the logic that they have behind it. Imagine running to keep walking as a hardcore feature for true gamers. That's the thing, is that this is another true gamer. This is a gamer moment. Oh my god. Are there any real gamers in here? Are there anybody that wants to spend 15 minutes to get to the dungeon and then the healer dies because a mob desynced and he lagged and the healer's dead and he didn't get knocked down, the character died because the game bugged out, so you gotta go back? It's 35 minutes because you have to go AFK. He's got to go repair his gear. Any real gamers? There's a character, his teammate was in the way. He couldn't walk through him because he didn't put his staff to go through so he could become a ghost. Meanwhile, the ghosts have player collision. You ever think about that? The ghosts have player collision, but players don't. How'd that work? Oh my god. So they should remove player collision? Yeah, entirely. Remove it entirely from PvE. I'm talking about delete it 100%. Not 99, not in some cases, 100% deleted. Yes, that is exactly what I mean. But that gets rid of immersion. How is it immersive to take a weapon off and walk through somebody? So, like, isn't it less immersive that you can turn into an ethereal being that can transcend the bodies of your teammates? Is that like, you know what? Okay, I can't walk through anybody. Wait a second, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna walk to the front of this line. I'm gonna just walk through everybody. It's fine. We're good. That's not how it works. It's not immersive. Because PvP, it makes sense. Well, who gives a fuck if it makes sense in PvP whenever you're doing an expedition? Oh, we're doing an expedition. We're on the first boss, a Guardian of Genesis. Wait a second. There comes Syndicate with the chair. Oh my god, he's got a musket. He's shooting us. He just randomly invaded our fucking expedition. He's here to kill us. Oh my god, there's 5 other people coming in from the other side. They're shooting our healer. No, it's not gonna happen, man. That ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna be a thing. Like, it's fucking garbage, man. It's fucking garbage, and anybody that thinks it's not fucking garbage has no idea what they're talking about, and they're a moron. That's it. He's changing his conduits. Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean, like, Tanking in New World, but player collision made me stop. Really? That's what made you stop? Not getting pushed around by the boss? Here, if you like tanking in New World, and you think you want to tank in New World, go tank the Spriggan in the Monosequious Cleft, the one in Eden Grove. Go tank that boss, and then tell me at the end of it, I love tanking. And if you do that, that's great. Because now we know that we have to send you to an insane asylum. Because there's something wrong. You could hurt somebody, like hurt yourself. There's something seriously wrong here. I mean, character collision more generally, not just with players. Oh, no, you're right. It's trash. I'm just joking around. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. Yeah, 100%. I love correcting where I stand 1,000 times. Oh, yeah, 100%. And then you go to attack. I'm taking, guys. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Have you ever tanked in your life? That's fucking normal tanking. There's nothing special in it. Yeah, I've tanked in WoW. I've tanked in Final Fantasy. I've tanked probably harder and better encounters than you have. I know how to tank. Better than you. Probably. Pretty much guarantee it. Yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Would you call yourself a good tank? Absolutely, I would. I absolutely would call myself a good tank. Whenever I used to tank in WoW, I was absolutely a good tank. Like, without a question. I tanked server first challenge modes. What else? What do I have to do? Come on. Look, all I'm saying, I'm not going to go off and just fucking get through all this stuff, etc. And, nice tank swap, Dom. Look, yeah, he got me there. But the thing is that, yeah, I used to be a really good tank. And, yeah, I'm not as good as in Final Fantasy. I'm not as used to the game. Yeah, for sure. But, like, in WoW, I'm very good tank. I used to be a very, very, very good tank. So, yeah, it just in general, I think that New World needs to do the proverbial a writer. In order to become a good writer, many people say that you have to, there's a quote, kill your darlings, which is an idea to never be tied down emotionally into a certain type of character or a certain story or something like that, that it then hinders the progression of your narrative, of the story you're trying to tell. And New World is afraid to kill its darlings, like Azoth and player collision. If they realize that, wait a second, this game is not... this is not working, this is not good, and they're able to change it, then I will have a lot more confidence. So, cool name for the concept, first time I hear of it? Yeah. Exactly. They won't kill Azoth because they can monetize it? Well, I guess they'll just kill the game instead.